It's your girl Vicky O back again with another Work It Out Wednesday conditioning tip for my thick girlies looking to advance their pole journey. So I'm here at my studio, Inner Diva Studios, here in Austin, Texas. Just wanted to let you know, every Saturday at 1 p.m. we have a class called Curvy Girls Pole, where we take pole movements and just have a nice supportive environment for everyone, no matter your size, no matter your body type, just to kind of make pole accessible to everyone. So if you're ever in Austin, come on through Saturdays at 1 for Curvy Girls Pole. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So one of the hardest things to kind of get used to when you're first starting your pole journey is your grip. That's like kind of key to like everything, like especially like with spinning and doing different pole moves. You want to feel comfortable in your grip. So today I'm going to show you some good grip conditioning tips to help kind of condition yourself through the various grips that you might use on the pole in the beginning of your pole journey. Like there's tons of grips, but I'll just show the like 4 basic ones that I've used when I first started and kind of break down good conditioning for that. So come on and join me. All right, so the basic grip that we have is our half bracket or handshake grip. Depending on what part of the country you're in, what part of the world you're in, it might be called something else. We call it half bracket, but again, it all depends. But basically with your half bracket, you have your inside hand is gonna be nice and high, and then you're gonna drop your shoulder. I totally just missed the pole. It happens. So we're gonna take that inside hand, it's gonna reach up nice and high, and then I'm gonna drop that shoulder. So by dropping that shoulder, I'm engaging that lat muscle so that I can kind of pull. So it should feel like there's something pulling on your arm. And that's that feeling is what kind of helps you lift off the ground. So one of the conditioning tips that I always like to do in my level 1 classes or anytime I'm teaching like a pole party and showing somebody how to pole for the first time is just practicing what I like to call bunny hops. So you can do it from the half bracket, which is half bracket is inside hand nice and high, outside hand, which is the hand furthest away from the pole, across your chest, and you're engaging that shoulder, pulling down. So you can do this conditioning trick with the what we call seatbelt on, or you can take the seatbelt off, whatever feels comfortable. I know a lot of the times if you have a bigger bosom, maybe that seatbelt can feel a little awkward. So for these conditioning drills, feel free to take your seatbelt off because it's a pretty safe move. You're just trying to work on that activation. So you can open up a little bit so that you can get used to it and then put it back on when you're ready. So what we'll do, hand up, drop the shoulder, and then I'm gonna pull. As I pull down and engage that lat, I'm gonna try to see if I can hover my feet off the ground. So it'll look like this. I call these bunny hops. So if I'm doing the regression of it, I'm gonna take my outside hand, bring it across my chest, pull, 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 pull. So if you see, I'm taking this shoulder and engaging, and that's what's helping me lift off the floor. So when I'm doing my spins, for example, like a fireman spin or an attitude spin, I'm engaging, and that's what's helping me get my lift off so I can keep my feet off the floor. So again, for this drill, hand up, either you put your seatbelt on, seatbelt off, it's up to you, and then hop, 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 hop. As you get comfortable with that moment, with that movement, you can progress it to what I like to call lizard spins. So the lizard spins, they're not hard, they just feel really weird when you first do it. So these are basically running leaps around the pole to help you get used to the spin feel of going out and around. So when you're doing these, think of yourself as like a tetherball. I would say to get the running lizards, it might take a couple of classes or a couple of conditioning with just the basics. But if you're doing the basics, if you've done the basics for a while, and you're like, okay, what's next? This is a great progression. So with that, same thing, inside hand high, dropping that shoulder. For these, I like to keep my arm off just because it's easier. You can run with the arm on, but again, if you have chest or if you're trying to go around the pole, if you're trying to fly, that arm on is kind of hindering. So arm down, and I'm just gonna run, 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 run. And those kind of help get used to that spin grip, especially on static. So those are just some good tips that I like to do specifically for the half bracket. So for the next grip, this next grip was my nemesis, split grip. So this one is hard for me because I had to figure out what my distance of my hands were in relation to my torso. So same thing, I have boobs, so whenever I do moves like this or move like this, it just gets a little tricky. So one of the tricks I like to do is just reach up and then turn my body into the pole. Simple, and then it lets me know kind of what my proportions are versus just putting your hand on the pole and then trying to like figure it out. So I just like stand next to the pole, reach up, make sure that I have enough space between, and then turn to the pole. Then I'm gonna take the base of my palm, where my wrist and my hand meet, put it on the pole, and then wrap. So I like to do thumb and pinky, and then wrap. And then just like we do with our half bracket, you want to do the same thing with your split grip with the top arm. So I'm engaging that lat, pulling down, and then I'm taking the base and my fingers and pushing. So this top arm is going to be pull, this bottom arm is going to be push. So it's like physics, you want to counteract what's going on. So pulling with the top, pushing with the bottom. So I'll hand up, turn, base of the pole, blah, blah, blah. And then so a good conditioning tip for this one, because this one's hard because you're basically holding on the side of the pole with just your arms, and it feels weird. A good conditioning tip, just like we did with our bunny hops, like our bunny hops, with the half bracket, same thing with this. Hop, 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 hop. That helps practice on the engagement, so that when you get ready to do it fully, then you feel comfortable with it. So what I do is start with baby hops, and then as you get more comfortable, see if you can hold it a little bit longer. So what I mean is, I'm here, hop, hop, hop. Okay, I'm comfortable. Hop, hop, hop. And I mean, right now we're not really worried about our feet. We're just trying to work on our arms. But like eventually you can go from like a relaxed foot to like a pointed foot, and then see just how long you can hold it on each side. So those are some tips for your split grip. Now, this next grip, forearm grip. Forearm grip was actually pretty chill for me because it felt like I was pressing against the wall, but again, you still run into the boob problem. So what I like to do is, for forearm, I like to think of myself as like I'm wrestling the pole. So let's say I'm arm wrestling the pole, reach, elbow on one side, hand on the other, and then kind of just lean. So that way I can make sure that I'm getting my whole forearm on the pole here. So it literally feels like I'm about to arm wrestle the pole. That positioning for me just made it easier so that whenever I moved and did other things, like it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird, it wasn't hard. Because I know when I first started, I would be here, here, and it just felt wrong. So just automatically, when you think of it, just think I'm gonna arm wrestle the pole. Arm wrestle the pole. And then take this outside hand again, reach up, drop that shoulder like you did in the other couple of moves here, and then same thing. Bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop. So same thing with the split grip that you do with the forearm, push pull. Top hand pulls, bottom forearm pushes into the pole. So pushing into the pole, pulling with the arm, and then just hop around the pole. This one is a little bit harder to go in a circle because your skin is on the pole, and so it might feel uncomfortable. So you can just hop in place. So you can just hop in place, and then as you get comfortable, just like with a split grip, see how long you can hold it. You know, maybe you push, pull, and then you try to lift your legs up, or anything like that. So that's a really good one to do. So we got our half bracket, we have our split grip, we got our forearm grip. Those are the basic ones. And so the last grip that everybody likes to use when you're first starting is your strong arm grip. So strong arm grip. I like to start pole behind me, hip in front here. Inside hand is gonna swim back here, behind. Pole goes into my armpit. Bringing my hand, I like to do about nose height, and then the other hand goes right on top here. So I like to think I'm bringing elbows in and squeezing like I'm holding like my favorite teddy bear, and then pull. So the prep for that, or the conditioning for that I like to do, just little hips, little lifts. Because when I first started doing pole, I could not get my knees up. Like I couldn't. Like it was just a little pitter patter. And that's where a lot of people are, because it's a weird positioning and it's just hard. So just even pulling, just make sure the pole is in your armpit, elbows are in here, and then see if you can lift. Getting your feet off the ground is step one. So just doing that a couple times, then when you get comfortable, see if you can hold, same thing. So all through this, today's Workout Wednesday message for conditioning is just bunny hops. Not the dance, just bunny hops. Little hops around the pole and the different grips to just kind of test to see if you can build up the strength to do the move. And as you progress, you'll get comfortable and then the grip will make sense. And it also is just good for just kind of breaking it down, making it seem a little bit simpler, making it a little bit more accessible as you build your strength for the different other moves. So yeah, thank you for spending your time with me, and I will catch you next Wednesday for Work It Out Wednesday.